Okay, we don't have a sports reporter, but we do have Robert, a two-way community member, says Bethlehem Steel EVP. Uh, Steel industry is quite interested in tariffs. Robert, welcome in. Thank you for
Yeah,
joining.
and of course, as it relates to my executive position with Bethlehem Steel, that's of course completely facetious because the former Dow Jones Industrial Average member of Bethlehem Steel has been destroyed by poor government policy over the past quarter century. And I think that what everybody is forgetting is the fact that President Trump is speaking to his base in every swing state, from where we are in Pennsylvania to Wisconsin to Michigan, when the auto worker was there and said, I have seen over my lifetime every factory, every plant, every mill closed down, to the extent whereby he's making all sorts of noise. It was complete music to our ears out here because we live in this wasteland and we understand global markets. And yes, David Bonson, I also voted for Ronald Reagan and all of that other stuff. But, at some point, somebody needs to speak up for us. And this is why we voted for Donald Trump. Full stop. Whether how the tariffs work out or anything like that, and whether or not any of these jobs will ever come back, almost is performative for us. At minimum, somebody's heard us out here from the endless decades of hurt that we felt out here economically. That's
Robert,
all I
thank
got to say.
Robert, thank you. Natalie, I'd love you for you to respond. I'll just say the Canadian Prime Minister has announced unspecified retaliatory moves in response to what the president said. So,
Uh,
Natalie, go ahead.
Fascinating development. I mean, I thought it was, it was a brilliant move on the White House's part to bring out Brian Panebecker, who is the Auto Workers for Trump leader, who he would haul out to a lot of his Rust Belt rallies. Brian would speak at a lot of those and spoke to the things that were just being discussed, the concerns. And I don't know that anybody could listen to Trump's tariff plans, any, typical working class voter. I would put myself in the same category of people who would hear a tariff plan and not necessarily know how exactly it would impact my life. And I don't think that they're, as he said, I don't think they're actually judging it on that, but they want to hear him say, we're going to try to bring back the jobs. We're doing what was never done. And it doesn't really matter right now to them what any critics are saying about what's going to happen with these tariffs. Certainly, they may or may not feel these the effects from the prices really soon, but I don't think any of them are holding their breath that the jobs are going to pour back in. I don't think they're under the illusion that that is going to happen, but they want to hear Trump say that he has them in mind,
Yeah,
and that's what Trump is doing.
I think that's a really important point. I don't know if it's true or not that the working class people that are really enamored by the fact that it feels that President Trump is paying attention to them. I don't know if it's true that they don't care what happens, that at least they finally got someone who's showing some empathy. But I accept full stop that there is this political and emotional benefit. It's just from my vantage point, I care about the working class beyond them feeling good. I want policies that are genuinely going to help. And I think that's the issue here is if you create the appearance of trying to do something that benefits domestic manufacturers and it doesn't, and it does come at a cost to the service industry or some other aspect of American economy, you haven't got the upside of the people you set out to help, and you have opened up a further downside, which I believe hurts consumers who are working class people too, and hurts other elements in the working class.
Well, they've just spent 4 years saying that Biden has made it hard for them to go to the grocery store, pay their bills. And so it's, prices go up. Well, it's going to be really hard to be angry at Trump when they've just spent 4 years being really angry at Biden about it. And so they're going to try to see the silver lining for as long as they can, certainly.